Well. Hello there, folks out in Facebook and YouTube land. I hope everybody is surviving our mini apocalypse okay and keeping yourselves entertained and occupied. It's getting kind of boring. That's all right. Oh, I got me a watcher. As you can see, it's a nice, pretty, sunny day here in Sharpsburg, Georgia. Look, my grass is all cut. It's all trimmed. Everything's blown off. That's a good thing. Getting kind of at odds end once more, so some of you folks don't yell at me. There's my magnetic business card. As you can see, we've gone over this before. It sticks a little bit to that, but there's so much protection on this paint. Once again, I've demonstrated this before. Oh, it won't stick to that. Just because there's so much protection, it'll stick to that a little bit. Hey, Miss Glenda. There's my daughter, Jeannie. A nurse, y'all. A nurse. She's a nurse, Miss Glenda, but way far away, unfortunately. I was going to just go over a couple of things here. Number one. Hey, all you girls. Hey, Mr. Moore. What I was going to go over quickly is a semi-review of this McCollough Steamer. Yeah, you can see I got a mess on my hands. I got two of them tore apart there. The reason for that being is on December the 30th of 2019, I purchased the first one. It lasted till... Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. The first one I bought on February the 6th of 2019. It lasted until December of 2019, and the nozzle went bad. And you can't buy that part. But I had used and abused it. I mean, it was terribly abused by me, doing car after car after car after car after car. So I called the folks. I talked to the lady about it. She said, well, that part's not available. It can't be purchased. The only thing you can purchase replacement-wise for these things are the accessories, which don't wear out anyway, as best I can tell. But she sent me a new one because it was under warranty. And even though I was honest with her and told her what I was using it for, that I was a professional detailer, I should have just kept my mouth shut. But she went ahead and sent me another one. It came at the end of December of 2019, and I used it maybe on 3 cars. And then I was going to use it in the house to do some carpet in there, and it would not turn on. A bad switch. Of course, you cannot buy a replacement switch. You could probably go to the hardware store and get one. It's just a little lighted rocker switch. So I contacted them again, and they said these are designed for home use, so we're not going to send you another one. So instead of arguing with them at the moment, I decided, hey, I'll just tear these two down and see if I can make one good one out of both of those. And I do plan on buying a higher grade steamer, but I wanted to get one of these going in the meantime, because a high grade steamer will cost 2 to 3 times what these cost. Now, I know a lot of guys that use these in their business, and they're not having any problems out of them. The first time they were wonderful, but this go around they just turned a deaf ear to me. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about that, but I'm hung up on working on that right now because I need a little bitty hose clamp. I've never seen one like it before. Let's see if I can lay my hands on one over here. Look at all the tools I got out to work on that thing. They're not made to be taken apart, trust me. When I put it back together, a lot of it will go back together I thought I saved one of those little clamps over here. Oh yeah, here we go. See if any of y'all know what this is. Any of y'all ever seen? Not that one. Those are pretty common. This one. I've not seen one of those before. I don't know what that is. Anybody knows what that is? Leave me a hint down in the comment section or where you might find one. It's the hose, the holes, the hose that the steam travels through where it comes out of the tank. Anyway, that's the the story on that. And some of you may remember I was working, and I'll diverse from here a little bit on my floor mat. I had redone it with some solution finish, but I used way too much on it, and I can't get it to dry. Anyway, but another thing I wanted to show you guys is some of you know, I'm fond of when my car's not just horribly dirty. I don't even get the hose out, and I do what's called a rinseless wash with ONR. And I decided to try a new technique today. I've already done the roof and the hood, and now I'm going to go down the sides. But what I decided to do was mix up my ONR in a sealed bucket. There it is over there. It takes like 1 ounce to 2 gallons of water, distilled water. And I don't even have, you know, I've just got a little bit in this sprayer here, which is a Ryobi cordless sprayer. Now, I used it the other day to put bug spray out around the outside of my house. It's got a little fill thing here. Comes apart. It's pretty good, pretty good. It's battery powered, rechargeable battery, which is the same battery that fits a lot of other Ryobi stuff. Like my battery for my hedger and my Ryobi drill all fit this, and they all fit each other. So, hey, that's a pretty good deal. Uh-oh, down to one watcher. But I've got some ONR in this tank. And this method I like very well. I'm going to turn this thing on and just spray down a panel right quick. Show you how I do it with this thing. And I like the way this works. I think I'm going to be using this technique to, you know, before, I think you guys, I just dunked my wash mitt in there and put it on, or I sprayed it on with a hand sprayer. But when I got the whole car to do like I do today, I like the way this thing works. You can hear that thing running. And the nozzle's adjustable from a stream to a spray. For this purpose, we want the spray, but that's all you need of that ONR. I'll turn this back off. And now what I'll do is I'll let that dwell a few minutes, because the way that stuff is engineered, it takes a minute for it to encapsulate the dirt and lift it away from the surface. And like I said, I did the hood. Now there's some scratches and defects, deep defects in that paint, but there are no new scratches, none. It's called ONR Rinseless Wash, and there I've got my high quality wash mitt. You can't buy that kind of quality around town on the retail level. And my super high grade drying towel, which I told you guys before, this towel will absorb almost 2 gallons of liquid. So anyway, that's what we do there. Just let it, and then I'll take that wash mitt and I'll just very gently scoop the dirt off of it using both sides, and then I'll take it out there to the hose. I'll blast it clean it out with the air compressor and that vortex tool, and then I'll come back and use my drying towel and I will gently dry it. That's all there is to that. Oh man, because she's not real dirty, just a little dusty, and I decided you know, I'll just clean it up, because I don't want to go to Home Depot looking for one of those little clamps I showed you a minute ago. Home Depot on a Saturday under these circumstances? I don't think so. Or what is this? Yeah, Saturday. So maybe I'll get up and go in the morning while, I was going to say while everybody's at church, but hell, ain't nobody going to church either. But maybe it won't be as crowded if I go kind of early. So maybe I'll do that in the morning. And I've got some new stuff in that I ordered for protecting the glass. It's a new glass sealant, and my plan is at some point, maybe this afternoon, I will put that on and I'll come back and show you guys what that's all about, the brand name of it and all that kind of stuff, so you can get some sort of idea about that stuff. It's supposed to be really good and last a long time. Hey Frank, man, Frank, you always seem to get here about the time I'm getting ready to go offline here. I'm just working on the car, and I had talked about my McCollough Steamers and the problem I had with that and what I'm doing, and I just did a quick demonstration on this Ryobi cordless sprayer that I used to spray this panel down with ONR, and the technique and some of the stuff I'm going to use. I've already done the hood and the roof, and you know what? A lot of detailers, a lot of professional detailers out there stake their reputations on saying, for the most part, using ONR to wash your car most of the time is less damaging than using a traditional 2-bucket method, one of those things. And you know what it's also handy for is if you live in an area where they have water restrictions. Some places have it at certain times of the year. You're not allowed to get outside and wash your car. Doing a rinseless wash on your car will take less, usually, depending on the size of your vehicle, less than a gallon, I guarantee you. Because I've got less than a gallon in that sprayer. I've already done 2 big sections, and I haven't hardly used any of it. And some places have water restrictions where you're not allowed to wash cars at all at any time of the year, particularly out west in some of those places, you know, where people have moved into the middle of the desert. Yeah, I just did a rinseless wash there, Frank, and up there, and I've got this soaking in it right now because you need to let it dwell for a couple minutes, as you probably know. And then I'll take my high quality wash mitt, which is over there. It's soaking wet with ONR and has been cleaned. I clean it between every panel, or I grab a new one. Most of the time, if I'm doing a customer's car, I'll grab new ones instead of cleaning. But sometimes on mine, I'll stop. Like today, I really don't have anything else to do. I will just clean the one I'm using. That's okay. But the ONR, you know, I was talking under water restrictions and all that, and it's also exceptionally handy if you want to clean your car up a little bit in the dead of winter, and it's not really practical to get your hose and power washers out and all that kind of mess, and you get wet and everything's freezing on you, blah, 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 blah. So it's great for that. And it's good for when I just want to quickly clean my car when it's just lightly soiled, maybe a little road film, that kind of stuff. And I used a little bit the other day. A bird pooped on my hood. I squirted it on there, put a wet sponge on top of the bird poop so it wouldn't just evaporate away. Let it sit for a couple minutes. I came in, just wiped it right off. No scratching, no etching, no nothing. You never washed it? You mean with the traditional wash, Frank? Or you've only used ONR? Or have you just never washed it, period? You mean it's never been washed? I'm not quite following you there, Frank. Surely it's been washed, even if you've run it through commercial car washes. Hopefully you've been at least using ONR on it. But that's a nice ride, though. What color is it, Frank? Let me tell me down in the comment section if you want to. But anyway, and also my work continues on this 1993 Honda Nighthawk. It's about 95. I'm about 95% done with it. Got to redo the seat, which is over there. And I also have to figure out what's wrong with the headlight. The headlight won't come on. I suspect, from what diagnostic stuff I've done so far, and I'm not much on figuring out electrical problems, but I've made a run at it. I suspect this switch is bad because this headlight is hooked into the starter. Never been washed? Good grief, Frank. Oh, man. What does it, sit in a garage with a car cover on it? But that headlight is, wow. The headlight is hooked into the starter switch so that when you start it, the headlight automatically comes on and stays on until you turn it back off. So I'm thinking this switch is bad. I don't know for sure. And what a pain to change it out. And plus they're pricey. Yeah. I probably have, Frank. I see so many cars come through and by here. Sometimes I don't even pay attention to them. Next door. Yeah, I know. Yeah. That, it's yellow, right? Yellow? Yellow? Because I know you got several vehicles over there. Several. Yeah, the yellow one. I remember it. Pretty badass car. Pretty badass. It's never, I know you keep it in the garage, so. Yeah, I hardly ever see it. I don't think I've ever seen it sitting out, Frank, ever. Don't think I've ever seen it sitting out. You should bring it over and let me give it a rinseless wash and let's get the dust and stuff off of it. Good grief. Oh, you do use the waterless. I wouldn't use waterless, Frank. I would use the rinseless. Trust me on that. Get you some Optimum No Rinse. It seems a little pricey when you first price it out, but it's highly dilutable. Like I say, 1 ounce to 2 gallons of water, and if you keep it in a sealed bucket like I do, you can keep it. If you don't use it all, keep it sealed and then use it again. See? And you can also, there's also a dilution ratio in there for a quick detailer. You can also use it as a quick detailer, which I do all the time. And it's also good for, like, if I get water spots and I want to remove them chemically with an iron remover or something like that, and I use that chemical to get it off, then what I do, the ONR, I spray the ONR on and then wipe it back down. The ONR neutralizes harsh chemicals and soap. You know, if you've got soap residue or something like that on there, it will neutralize that. It's good for so many things. Yeah. Well, obviously. You know, but hey, Frank, if you ever, want to know a better way or a different way or a product, because I hardly use any retail level stuff, feel free to stop by or call me or message me, and I'll talk to you about it. I'll examine your vehicle. You're a neighbor. I won't charge you for nothing for that. Hey, there's my Miss Angela. So, or if you need to borrow a piece of equipment that I have, I've got like 6 buffers here, different buffers. Some of them are old ones, old school stuff. Come over here and, if I'm not using it, you're welcome to use it. If you don't have a dual action buffer, I've got a couple of different ones over here, different sizes, and all the attachments that go with it for getting in those little bitty crevices. I got the little nano polishing kit, Frank. So, feel free. Stop by, and I'll show you how to use it, and you can use it. Okay? Not a big deal. There's, because a lot of that stuff, for people that are going to use it once or twice here and there, it's probably not really cost effective for you to buy that stuff. But, for a guy like me, I use them constantly. Constantly. Hey, Jackie! I think it's captain now, or colonel or something, isn't it, Jackie? One of my old gendarme cohorts. But anyway, all right. So, if you found this any somewhat informative, or yeah, Angela's wondering what I've been doing all day because I ain't been texting her to death. Flex, damn good buffer, damn good. High dollar though, Frank. High dollar stuff, Frank. But those are really good. Using the Flex as opposed to, say, the Max Shine, like I have two of those. It's the difference between driving a Mustang and, say, a Corvette or a Lamborghini. Driving a luxury car, driving a Lexus as opposed to a Volkswagen. The Volkswagen will get you there, but the Lexus will get you there with a lot more comfort and efficiency. Yeah, those Flex are nice machines. Nice machines. But anyway, all right, you guys, I appreciate you. If you're watching this on, if you're on Facebook, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down. If you got a question, put it in the comments below and I'll get back to you. And if you're watching on YouTube, do one of those things, or consider hitting that subscribe button for me so you can keep up with the projects and reviews of different products that I got going on. Like I said, I think my next video is, Frank, I'm going to be trying a new glass sealer that I ordered, and it came in the other day. And I was going to try out some new magic sponges that I ordered, but the box got here and it was empty. There was nothing in there. And of course, Amazon's not answering the phone these days. And so I sent them an email and all that, and I heard, nothing but crickets. So I paid, I think it was $10 or $11 for a box of air right now. Oh, well, that's the way it goes sometimes. I'm sure they'll straighten it out when they can. But, I was tearing the steamers apart. Miss Angela, here's some of the tools I was using to work on that steamer. Look at all that crap. That's screwdrivers and pliers and wire cutters and wire strippers and a box of clamps and this and that and the other. WD-40, the drill. I had to drill out some of the screws because they wouldn't come out. And the only thing that's not laying out here that I'm positive I'm going to need when I start putting the complete steamer, I've got two of them, Jackie. And long story short, I'm trying to make one good one out of two bad ones. But I'm almost positive, because they're not made to be taken apart, I'm almost positive that at one point I'm going to have to get my duct tape out. Hey, as long as it works, that's the big thing. But anyway, folks, like I said, I did the roof already. I'm telling you guys, it just don't get much better than that. And I did the louvers too. There's my refrigerator magnet. See, it won't stick. Thank you for the smiley face, Miss Angela. Oh boy, I miss you, Angela. Okay, it's time for me to get back to work, you guys. Thank y'all for tuning in, and thank you for dropping by. I'm gonna get back at it here and try to get something done. Bye now.